Welcome to the 37th episode of Impact Media Presents Jewish Free Loan Association Part 2. Really excited to bring back an old guest and friend and partner in the Jewish Free Loan Association, Rachel Grose, and one of her clients, his name, and I'm going to do my best to say it correctly each time, Natan Hassan, who is the owner of Melrose Bite. Hi, how are
Rachel,
you?
I'm doing well.
Thank
How you doing?
you.
Hey,
I'm
Rachel,
great.
Hi, how are you today?
doing well.
Doing very well. Very excited to have you both here. Thank you so much for joining me today. We're going to do a mini segment today. I'm really excited about this because we had Rachel on, gosh, was that like in June or July, I believe.
Feels like
And
a
we
long time ago.
I know it does. So much has changed. And I want you to share some of the updates that I recently learned about of how you've made some changes, during the pandemic. But if you could do a quick overview of kind of what's going on, the services you offer, some things that have changed during the pandemic, how you've made it even simpler for, clients to access resources through Jewish Free Loan Association. We're going to make it conversational. We're going to have a testimonial from Natan. And so, really looking forward to hearing more about his story as an entrepreneur and how the business loan really helped his business. We're going to have a conversation, we're going to have fun, and we're going to change some lives. We're going to make sure that people who need this information right now have know where to go and what to do to access the resources to help them as well. So let's kick it off, Rachel. Tell them what you do, why you do it, and then we'll hear from that Tom.
Great. Well, thank you, Kelly. Thank you for having us here today to
Absolutely.
talk about Jewish Free Loan. So what do? We offer interest-free, no-fee loans to residents of LA and Ventura counties. We are here to help. We really want to help everyone, especially today during this terrible pandemic. There's so many people who are just in dire straits, and Jewish Free Loan is here for you. It's very easy to get a loan from Jewish Free Loan. All you need to do to start the process is to go on our website, which is jfla.org, and click on Apply Now. So what do we offer loans for? Really, everything from birth to death. Our major categories are we offer loans for small businesses, we offer loans for emergency needs, and we offer loans for education, post-secondary education, meaning anything after high school. So you could be going to junior college, you could be going to a regular four-year college, you could be going to a trade school, or you could be going to medical school, dental school, any of those and more do we have loans for. So the process is simple. We do require a small amount of documentation. You can have a virtual meeting with a loan analyst, and the money will be deposited directly into your account once the loan is approved. We are offering a few new situations for our clients during the pandemic. We are offering loans to people who are unemployed, which is something we have not done before. To get a loan if you're unemployed, you do need to have one guarantor. A guarantor can be a friend, a relative, coworker, could be anyone who is older than 18 and has good credit and is willing to pay for the loan in the case that you default. But we're also offering a few other products right now. We have a loan for people who are employed up to $2,000 with no guarantor. And for small businesses, you can borrow up to $5,000 with no guarantor if you have a credit score of 580 or above.
Wow.
Otherwise,
can we just say wow first? That's
wow,
incredible.
it's a
Thank you so
huge
much.
deviation.
Yes,
Thank
thank
you.
you
We're
so
excited.
much. I mean, I had thought the terms were already out of, out of this world in terms of what we've seen so far. And now you've raised the bar even higher, which is what leadership is and what it's about. And, you know, as I've said with you privately and publicly, the other financial institutions have to step up. This is just ridiculous. And you've proven that it can be done and done well. So again, kudos to you and the organization for doing what you do so well, making resources available to people that are not easily able to get resources and who pay more for the resources. And just really making a difference in people's lives. I just had to stop and say that, Rachel.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that.
You were on a roll. You were on a roll.
Well, since you brought up the interest component, I do want to talk about that for a second, because I'm not sure that everybody fully understands what an interest-free, no-fee loan can do for them. What that means is if you borrow $2,000, you pay back exactly $2,000. If you were to borrow this money on your credit card, you'd probably be paying north of 20%. If you were to go to a predatory lender, you could be paying up to or maybe more than 350%. So our loans are really the most economic, most cost-effective choice that you could make. We are a nonprofit organization. We are not predatory. We're not going to give your information to anyone. We're simply here to help you. And, we make the loan. Again, if you borrow $2,000, you repay just $2,000.
No, that is great. And before we're going to keep the conversation going and continue to learn more about Jewish Free Loan Association, but I really want to hear our testimonial. I really want to hear from Natan. So Natan, tell us about your process. How did you find Jewish Free Loan Association? How did it go? Tell us as much as you're willing to share about why you got the loan, how it helped.
Sure.
That would be great. Thank you.
Well, first, thank you for
Absolutely.
having me. This is a great opportunity. It's, as a, on the personal side, I have actually known Rachel for about 20 years, probably longer. They live across the street from my parents. My parents still live in the house I grew up in. So when my parents said, "Oh, Rachel Grose, is doing this interest-free loan," I was like, "Yeah, I think I know what you're talking about," but I know who Rachel is. So, and we are talking with my business partner, Liat, who unfortunately isn't here today. And we looked into it. And when Rachel says this is an easy loan to apply for, we were approved within a day.
Wow.
I'm not even joking. It was an online application, a couple emails, and a phone call, and we were pretty much done. And they honestly, they went beyond, because we were struggling with our landlords, trying to come up with some kind of, agreement to kind of help us out to push through. And they even went so far as to, talk with them and meet with them to see if there was anything that we can do. So really, like, the amount that JFLA does for, even just potential clients is just above and beyond anything that I've ever seen. It's really, really just amazing.
Wow, that's incredible. And it's definitely one thing to hear it from Rachel, and she's very convincing, and I believe what she says. But to hear it directly from you about how simple it is. And so tell us what that really meant for you and your business to receive this loan, and a loan with these terms.
I mean, it literally saved us. The pandemic hit, and the forced quarantine came in, and it was like night and day. We're located in the heart of Melrose, right across the street from Fairfax High School. They have the flea market every Sunday over there, and literally overnight it went from hustle and bustle to ghost town, absolute ghost town. And it just within 24 hours our business dropped just beyond anything we ever could have imagined. And without the loan, we wouldn't be here right now. We would have closed up the doors and said goodbye. It would have been a very, very difficult situation for us, very, very sad. And with this loan, it saved us. And when you're talking about the no interest, I mean, we were looking at other loans, and for the same amount that we got from the JFLA, we would have been paying 3 times as much back. And it's so not only did the loan save us, but the interest free just it doesn't just save us at the point of when we got the loan. It saves us 6 months down the road, a year down the road. It's a lifesaver. It really is.
Yeah, it's a lifeline, right? You know,
Yeah,
we were
absolutely.
even having a conversation backstage, and I said I wasn't going to give any publicity or press to someone that will remain unnamed. But it really, this is what stimulus looks like. We'll just say that. This is real
Yeah,
stimulus,
this is
you know,
absolutely.
um, and our government, in addition to the financial institutions, need to really look at doing things differently. Um, Otherwise, the gap between, you know, those who, the middle class, as well as the working poor, is going to continue to grow unless we do things differently.
Yeah,
And
I
it
mean,
doesn't have to be, it's not rocket science. You've
yeah,
demonstrated that, Rachel, with the work that you're doing in the organization that is in LA, but you're attached to an affiliate. Well, you're independent organizations, but a part of a national and international umbrella where you have different organizations in different cities across the country. So for the viewers who are not necessarily based in LA, you can do the research in your city to find, where you can find a Jewish Free Loan Association. Rachel, why don't you speak a little bit to that aspect, since a lot of our viewers are not necessarily based in LA, about how independent you are and the potential variance in the offerings.
Absolutely. So there are Jewish free loans actually around the world, and there are plenty throughout the United States and Canada, throughout North America. And all of the organizations are independent from one another. So what the things that I told you that we were offering here, the loans for the unemployed, the loans with no guarantors, the other organizations are not necessarily offering that. They might have their own packages that they're offering, but we all operate under the concept of no interest and no fees. That is what unites us. There is an organization called the International Association of Jewish Free Loans. You can Google them and go on their website and see if there's one in your neighborhood. I know that all of them are very interested in helping the public. And it would be exciting if you did get a loan. If you wouldn't mind letting me know, you can get my email address on our website, jfla.org, and I'd love to hear from you.
No, that would be great. And I believe there will be people that take advantage. As I mentioned, Jada and I are interested. We are going to get an application in soon one day. Got to find time to stop. How is it? We were talking about this earlier. How is it that we're busier, during the pandemic than life you thought might come to us, slow down a little bit since we're kind of stuck at home, but it actually increased and people are busier than they were before. Interesting concept. Have you found that to be true, Natan?
um, it's interesting. I think people really are taking advantage almost of this situation where there's a lot of things you can't do, where now you're given the time to do things that you would have postponed. Take my parents, for example, are in their mid to late 60s, and they're they work from home pretty much. My mom's a school teacher. My dad used to work for a nonprofit Jewish organization, and now my dad is literally fixing every little thing he can find in the house. So he's busy all the time, but these were never things that you would prioritize when life was quote unquote normal. So
Yeah,
I think people are taking advantage, and I wouldn't be surprised if there's a change in people's mentality of their priorities, of what is worth
absolutely.
your time and what yours, and when things do fully open up, and we aren't so scared of everything that's going on.
Absolutely. So tell us, what is your vision, for your business kind of moving forward, and especially with, the support of JFLA? You got this initial loan. How's the business doing? Kind of what are the next steps for you? And is JFLA involved in some of those next steps?
Yeah. So right, uh, 2 weeks before the quarantines hit and everything, we did a fairly large kind of uh, overhaul of our food concept. And we were more of like a cafe, coffee shop kind of place, and we had transitioned to like a more sandwich and burger type restaurant. Granted that
Okay.
we're still a vegan restaurant, but sorry for that. We try to look at ourselves as more of a restaurant rather than a cafe, and which for most people isn't a big difference, but as a business owner, your mentality is different. The
Hmm.
way you kind of approach the aesthetics of your environment, your website, your social media, everything, it's just slightly different. And so we had that, and then 2 phenomenal weeks, boom, everything gets shut down. Luckily we're still here, knock on wood. JFLA playing a huge part in that. And it's funny you say, looking to the futures, we're now in the process of reevaluating things, that we had kind of looked over in the past because we didn't have the time. Things like how we interact on our social media, how we interact on our website, and those kind of digital platforms. And we're now looking as like, is this the best solution for us? Is the way we post on Instagram or Facebook, is that really working for us? And now that we
Hmm.
have the time, we can really step back and be like, okay, maybe we need to reevaluate. I mean, as a whole, business plans and business models have completely changed in the food industry. You're
Yeah.
looking at fine dining restaurants, which we are not even close to being, completely turning into takeout restaurants, but still maintaining their philosophy is just phenomenal. So
Yeah.
I think as a whole, everyone's kind of pivoting.
Yes.
Whether it's it was 6 months ago, 3 months ago, yesterday, it doesn't matter. I think everyone right now is trying to adjust for what's happening now, what's to come, because it's a lot of uncertainty, which you have to predict. You have to have foresight. What's the food industry going to look like in 6 months? Does our concept work, or how can we change? And that's, I think,
Hmm.
kind of where we are and where everyone is, honestly. So it should be an interesting next couple of months, for a lot of reasons. But we're going to keep politics out of this. But yeah, I mean, we're super
Hmm.
super hopeful, and like I said, it's this literally is, we wouldn't be here without this loan from JFLA. It really just kind of, it gave us a second win, a second opportunity, in some regards. So and we don't want to screw it up. It's not everyone is so fortunate to have our situation.
Absolutely. And what would you say, Natan, to those who are watching that may be considering, on the fence, not quite sure, if this is real, sounds too good to be true, or, just to encourage, those who, maybe have never taken a loan out before. What would you say to them about Jewish Free Loan Association?
Yeah, I mean, it's God's honest truth. It's definitely scary taking out a loan, owing money to someone else. But if there's anyone that I would, as in hindsight, if there's anyone that I would want to owe money to, it's JFLA right now. It's just it was so easy, and it was so effortless on everything that they did. And as I grew up in the Jewish community, I grew up religious. I'm not right now. And when a lot of times when I hear things, oh, Jewish this, Jewish that, the assumption or possible assumption is, oh, this is a Jewish loan, this is for Jews. It's not. This is literally for anybody. Our neighbor, to give you a little story, our business neighbor about 2 doors down, when the riots hit, due to from the George Floyd protest, she was
The
out here. It
murder.
was a Saturday night. She was out here standing in front of our restaurant, begging people not to vandalize the businesses on the street. So there's this woman, literally small business, African American lady, pretty much does everything herself. It's like a small little jewelry shop, and she was out here, and we told her about this loan because she was she was hit, I think, harder than we were. And to make up for
Mm.
it, she was doing Lyft driving. She was doing deliveries for Lyft just to make
Mhm.
ends meet for her business. And we told her about the loan. She called them up and she got approved. And this is someone
Mhm.
completely, probably never, had any major interactions with someone who was Jewish, rather than just a, random on the street. So this,
Mhm.
it really is for anybody. If you're thinking about it, look into it, give them a call, just talk to them. Because as the non, financial side of my business, I wasn't the one who handled the application, but I guarantee you my business partner Liat would say, tell anyone, give them a call. They'd be more than happy to give you some advice, even if it means not getting a loan from them, because that's what people like this do. They want people to succeed. They want to help you in any way possible.
Thank you so much, Natan. That's really important to hear it come from you as a client, and a client who actually referred another client. Thank you for sharing that aspect of your story too, because it's in these days it can be kind of hard to trust people, trust
Yeah,
organizations, and it's a scary time, for a lot of people, and people are really struggling, and most people are struggling silently. And so part of what I try to do through this forum is share resources, share information that's uplifting, that's positive, that brings resources to help and solve problems that where we already have solutions, but some of them are buried, and uh, a lot of people don't know about or have easy access to. So I really
absolutely.
appreciate you coming on and sharing your story. And before we close, I'd love for Rachel to just have some closing comments and share whatever it is that you needed to share that we haven't had a chance to already about your organization, the work, any other stories you may want to share. And then we'll, after we do that, that'll be it for this time. But I'm really excited that we're going to continue to feature some of these stories ongoing. So this is not the end, it's just a to be continued. But let's share more a little bit, Rachel, of what you want to say for
All
today.
right, thank you, Kelly. First, I need to say, Natan, wow, thank you so much for that big shout out. It
Yes.
touches me so deeply to hear that you had such a positive experience and to hear you say the real impact that the loan had on your business. Wow, that's exactly what I hope for. We're working with all kinds of clients today, and the truth is, it's actually really hard to hear the client stories today. Businesses that are about to close, clients who are not working, clients who are sick with COVID, can't pay their medical bills or can't pay their rent because they're not working. So many people who have lost their jobs or whose hours have been reduced. There's a constant stream of these stories coming in to our office. With our education loans that we made over the summer, every story went something like this. I need the loan because my parent got laid off. I need the loan because my parent got sick with COVID and couldn't work. I need the loan because my parents' hours were reduced. I need the loan because I didn't have a summer job because of COVID. I need the loan because even last semester, my on-campus job ended. I need the loan because this semester, my on-campus job isn't going to happen. I mean, it went on and on and on, and really seeing just the devastation that COVID has wreaked on all parts of the community is really pretty significant. And so if our loans can play a role in helping people out, it just makes me even happier. So I just encourage everyone in need to please contact us and to apply. And I really hope that we can help you.
Thank you so much, Rachel. All right. Natan, is there anything you'd like to say? Anything that you just can't hold back? Tell us a little bit
I
about
mean,
the menu. Give a shout out to the restaurant. Tell them how to find you.
please come by, support. We'd love to see all your faces. We're here for hopefully the long haul. Again, thank you so much, Rachel. Thank you, Kelly, for having us. This was really
Absolutely.
amazing.
Absolutely. So tell them it's Melrose Bite. Give them your
Melrose
address.
Bite, Melrose Bite, Melrose in Fairfax. Vegan burgers.
Okay.
Tuna melts you wouldn't believe. So good.
All right, all right. I'm gonna have to come check it out. I
Please
definitely
do.
add vegan into my diet and to my healthy
It's
eating, on a weekly
it's so
basis.
good. We have non-vegans eating this food. They don't even know.
Yeah, I'm not completely vegan. I don't think I'll ever be, but I definitely incorporate it into my mix, into my lifestyle. So no, this is great. I look forward to checking you out. All
Thank
right.
you.
Thank you so much for
Thank you
joining me,
all.
both
Thank you
Rachel
guys.
and Natan. Take
Bye.
care. See you soon.
Bye.
All righty. Bye bye. Thanks again, Rachel. Wow, that was great. Again, this was a mini segment today. We're looking to do more. I really appreciate you joining us for, this 37th episode of Impact Media Presents. Appreciate your support and look forward to seeing you soon. Take care. God bless.